We're here with Mick Foley. Once again, Mick Foley, what's the haps?
Things are going good. I'd honestly be more comfortable if I put my arm like this. I'm secure enough in my manhood to do that because we've known each other a while, and I don't care if people talk. Let them talk.
I like the shoes. Like you did, I was about to say that you straightened up with a suit and everything. Is this a new Mick Foley? But you got to say it, the shirt and the shoes are vintage Mick Foley.
Well, if I hadn't propped them up on the table, the idea is they're supposed to pass as shoes, even though they're clearly sneakers masquerading as shoes.
They almost look like water shoes, the shoes that you can swim in.
No, they look like that. They're Skechers.
Uh-huh.
And so this way I can walk around and I can still adhere to this darn dress code. WWE makes me. I used to be special. In 2000, they went with the dress code, and there were like 5 or 6 guys who were excluded, and I was one of them. And so it hurt even more than when I was pulled aside like 4 years later and said, by the way, you're no longer excluded. We want you looking a little bit better. But this is business casual today, which is why I went with the jacket, slacks, sneakers, and 2 Santa Claus shirts. So.
I feel like that's very LA, though. That's sort of like, no, he could be a mover and a shaker.
Sam, I have a feeling that I won't fit into any scene. I won't actually look good in anything I wear, so I don't even try.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy. Santa Claus makes you happy. Let's get as much.
Sheryl Crow said, if it makes you happy, right? Do it.
Do it. You're here doing press for WWE. You're here on the scene for SummerSlam, as you are for a lot of WWE events. When you agreed to do press and kind of be an ambassador or whatever your role is, did you know it would also entail having to wake up at 6 a.m. and?
Oh man, 5. Yeah, it was like a 5 a.m. wake-up call. But you have to take. Sure. I'd rather not be here. Specifically here with you. Right. I mean, the rest of it's fine. Rather not be here, but look at the benefits. I get to hang out with my family. They get great seats for SummerSlam. We're going to a Jesse taping, and that probably doesn't mean too much to the it better not mean much to the O&A audience, or else I'd have some serious questions. Jesse's a great show on Disney Channel. My kids love it. We get to do that, and there's rumor that I'm going to hit a theme park or two while I'm here.
Yeah, I hope so.
I need to. So we're going to be hanging out, and we're going to try to make a really good time out of it. And I have the big post SummerSlam Foley Spectacular. Now, you were on hand in New York and played a vital role in the show.
Yeah.
This will be West Coast, and this one's sold out. But, Sam, since you guys go coast to coast, and you're the toast from coast to coast, the host with the most from coast to coast, if people want to see where I'll be, upcoming shows in Florida, upstate New York, 4 in Texas, a few in California, Nashville, Louisville, they can go to realmickfoley.com and click events.
All that host and toast stuff, that was almost verging on superstar Billy Graham for a second.
That's exactly where I stole it from. I believe I stole it from Dusty Rhodes, who borrowed it from Billy Superstar Graham. Yeah. And somewhere along the line, Chael Sonnen is going to grab a couple of those lines too.
Do you keep up on MMA at all, or are you just a wrestling guy?
I do. I enjoy MMA. I'm not what you call a huge fan, but I'm that fan they need, who will buy specific pay-per-views. Right. And obviously, if I can throw Chael's name around and actually pronounce it the correct way, then I know, it's a Chael Sonnen. I saw him in an amazing bout against Nate Marquardt. I think I even wrote about it like it was a real-life Rocky. I have no idea how they took that kind of punishment and continued. It's very inspiring. So I'm not a huge fan, but I do appreciate it, and I get caught up in the big events just like a lot of other people do.
Plus, it's got to be great to see somebody like him borrowing from pro wrestling when he's cutting promos and selling fights. And
the only thing that hurts me is he's not borrowing from me. Yeah. You have my permission. Listen, if the rappers can pretty much, if they call it sampling, which is basically taking the entire tune and then adding a few, you add Under Pressure, no, that's Queen, you're taking their song. So listen, all you guys out there, there's a rich library, a Foley library, and most of it's unknown, most of it's untapped. Go in there and borrow. I don't mind. I look at it as a compliment. There will be no lawsuits, all right? I'm saying it right here. No lawsuits. I see it as a compliment. I was the guy who understood the flattery of having a Mexican Mini named after me. So
Mini Mankind.
while I was in the corner teaching Mini Mankind how to rock and tear hair out of his own scalp, Vader's Mini was walking around going, "Attorney, attorney," because Vader didn't see it as the compliment that I did.
But you got to go deep, you UFC fighters, if you're going to do this, because otherwise you'll end up sitting cross-legged and shouting "mommy" in the corner of a cage. Which
why not go for that? You know, if you have any of you UFC guys, you know, if you want to sit cross-legged and tear hair out of your scalp, throw it up in the air and blow it into the wind, that's a good way to psych out an opponent. I think that's kind of Key and Peele-esque.
Yeah.
If you saw them promote their.
You go ahead.
I'm just wondering if Aaron Hernandez, just say he's got the greatest attorney in the world. Just say he doesn't do time and he decides to become either an MMA fighter or a WWE wrestler. This guy's going to cut some believable promos, you know? If he says, "Man, I'm going to kill you," you got to think to yourself,
he might do it.
He might just kill me, you know? So you got to bring believability into what you do. And if the guys want to go back and study, like I said, the Foley back catalog, break it out, just, call me, text me or something and let me know, and I'll be proud to lend you some of my library.
I went to one of your comedy shows where this is what blew my mind, and I don't know why I never put two and two together, because I have long hair now. I didn't when I was a kid, and when I was a kid, Mankind used to tear the hair out of his scalp, and you said on stage it was dead hair. You just kind of pull it out.
Yeah, what do I do?
And I do that now. Like I'll pull out.
You do it, and it's like, well, that's not spooky. It was that you throw it up there, and there'd be these tufts where people could see.
But until you said it's dead hair, I never even thought that was a possibility.
It looked like I was going and actually pulling it, and we had the divots in there and make it look like I actually pulled from the scalp. So kids at home, if you're going to do this, just remember, you pull from the top, and you just do the little bit of it's almost like revitalizing your hair.
Right.
It's like, I should be charging you for these type of tips.
Beauty tips from Mick Foley.
Sassoon never gave this type of information away.
That's exactly right. I was watching your DVD, the new DVD, which is great. And
Am I nude in the DVD?
Nude DVD. Yeah, you haven't seen this?
No.
It's all over Gawker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are your favorite opponents? Because we talked a little bit a while back about some of your favorite matches, and we kind of agreed that for me, the Mind Games match with Shawn Michaels is probably my favorite Mankind match. But who would you say is your favorite all-around opponent, besides The Undertaker, that you could get great matches out of?
I had all those great guys of the Attitude Era. I mean, every top guy, from The Undertaker to The Rock to Stone Cold to Triple H, and then tag team battles with the New Age Outlaws. But and then the legendary matches with Terry Funk in Japan. I was really glad, and I'm not saying he was my favorite because he used to beat the ever-living, stuff out of me. But I was really glad that Vader was on the new DVD, because he was able to offer that perspective of just how brutal those bouts were, and how you went out there, if you didn't fight back, man, Vader was just going to pummel you, know, and he was good. He really liked that give and take, and he could make you look really good. And there's a reason why his offense looked really effective, because it was really effective. Yeah. There are, and I found this out in my forays into the Santa Claus world too. There are artists, guys, who create this amazing illusion. And then there are guys who live the gimmick 24/7. Right. And they walk around with the white beard and hair all year long. That's the kind of guy Vader was. He wasn't an illusionist. He was. There are some guys I've wrestled.
Whether he had that red mask on or not, he was the dude.
He was gonna pummel you. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Nice to see you.
Everybody's here. This is the place to see and be seen. For me, it was. I was thinking your series at the end, like 2001 or 2000, whenever it was, your series of matches with Triple H.
Oh, they were great. Yeah.
It doesn't get much better.
No, it doesn't. Actually, I think when I did my show, I referred to the 2000 match, and I explained that I was explained that I was never crazy when I wrestled. What I had the ability to do was instantly assess a situation and perform a risk ratio reward analysis
Right.
that would allow me to determine whether or not a specific move was worth doing. So in that one famous match with Triple H in 2000, I kicked out of the pedigree. I think I was the first person to do that. That's Triple H's devastating finishing maneuver, and it was like, the crowd was going crazy, and a lesser man would have just basked in that. And I was thinking one step ahead, like a chess player, and I saw that pile of 2,000 to 3,000 shiny, alluring thumbtacks, and I thought, oh yeah, we got to end up in there. And I did the risk assessment, and I thought, okay, I could conceivably lose an eye in there. But then
because the pedigree entails you face first.
Yeah. So I closed my eyes as tightly as I could. Again, I don't advocate anybody doing this at home. And I came out of it okay. And it was like a weird feeling because A, I lost the match. B, there are people, chanting my name. But in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, that was so worth doing. That was a move definitely worth doing.
When you talk about the risk assessment, has there ever been a big move that this is going to hurt, and it really did hurt, and then it was just met with a dud? Like you were just wrong about the crowd reacting to it?
Yeah, there were a few times where I gauged things wrong. I'm thinking specifically more along the lines of Edge and Christian coming down to save me. Because I thought people knew that in 2000 that even though we were good, adversaries, that deep down we liked each other. And when they came out to save me and then turned on me, no one was shocked because I guess no one really thought they were coming down to save me in the first place. And I had to admit, like afterwards, I was like, okay, that was my bad. Yeah. I didn't see that one coming. But Sam, in this life, whether it's in the ring or my show, I'll leave you with this note, my friend. You don't know unless you try, and if you play it safe, no one makes it to the top by playing it safe. And anyone who has had great successes has a long list of great failures to their name as well. And life's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit. And keep getting up. That's how winning's done. I'd end with a little classic Stallone for you.
Oh, I thought that was an original. I feel inspired. All right, Mick, thank you so much. Enjoy the festivities, and I do hope to God that you get to a theme park, because it would be injustice if you didn't.
Yeah, probably Legoland.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.